Cleo, and if you're new here, I post videos related to health and fitness. If that's something that you're into, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys 3 quick and easy meal recipes that I like to have dinner ready during the week. Super quick and super easy. I don't like to put a lot of thought into my meals. So the first meal is going to be a pork loin with a big jam glaze along with roasted potatoes and zucchini. Meal number 2 is going to be my version of healthy shrimp tacos, and I can put this together super quick in about 20 minutes. I just get a pre-made salad and I cook up my shrimp, and it takes about 3 minutes, and I just put it all together, and there's my quick and easy shrimp taco recipe. And for meal number 3, I make a 1-pan crispy chicken thighs with roasted vegetables. And I honestly love to make this meal towards the end of the week when I'm trying to get rid of all the produce I have before they go bad. Super simple. Prep time takes about 5 minutes, and then I just stick it in the oven and I come back to it in about 45 minutes, and there you go, you have dinner ready. So here's everything that's gonna go into dinner number 1, and we're gonna go ahead and make a pork loin served with roasted potatoes, roasted zucchini, and I'm gonna go ahead and make my own fig jam glaze to go with the pork loin. And if any of you guys have used HelloFresh, you know that this is a very similar recipe to one of the meal cards they have. I have actually been using HelloFresh for maybe about a year, and I've just gotten so used to the ingredients. It's become kind of second nature to just pick out what's at the store and make meals similar to their recipe cards. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and actually preheat the oven to 450. Since the potatoes are gonna take the longest, we're gonna go ahead and bake these for about 20 minutes, and the zucchini is going to bake for about 14 minutes. And the pork loins, I'm gonna cook this on the stove, and it shouldn't take any longer than 10 minutes. We just wanna make sure that we reach an internal temperature of at least 135 degrees. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my potatoes, and I like to keep them into bite-sized pieces like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and season that with some olive oil. I'm gonna add some salt and some pepper, and I go pretty heavy with the seasonings on my potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic powder as well as some oregano leaves. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a good mix. And then we're gonna go ahead and stick that in the oven for about 20 minutes. And halfway through the cook time, I'm gonna just give those potatoes a good mix. The next thing we're gonna do is chop up our zucchini, and I like to cut them into moon-sized shapes, just like this. I think zucchini goes great with pork loins, and they're great roasted. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this in a separate pan and drizzle it with olive oil, salt, some pepper, pretty much the same seasonings as the potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic powder to that. Then I do like a kick, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some chili flakes to my zucchini. And then we're just gonna give that a good mix. And the zucchini doesn't take as long as the potatoes to cook, so I'm gonna throw them in the oven after about 10 minutes. Next, we're gonna go ahead and work on the pork loins. And here I just went ahead and wiped them down with paper towel. We're gonna go ahead and season that with salt and some pepper, some garlic powder. Again, we're using all the same seasonings here. I'm gonna just go ahead and add a little bit of paprika to this, as well as some oregano leaves. And I'm just gonna go ahead and flip that over and season the other side. And I like to go heavy on the seasonings for the pork loins as well. I think it helps give it a good sear when we're cooking it on the stove. And another tip is I kind of like to leave my pork loins out for about 20 minutes before I cook them. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and throw in our zucchini. So we're gonna let this cook for about 12 minutes at 450 while the potato finishes up cooking. Here I just have a medium-sized pan, and I have the heat on to medium. I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle some olive oil, and I'm gonna lay those pork loins on the pan. And I like to cook these for about 4 minutes on each side. For the first 4 minutes, I really recommend just leaving it untouched so that we get a nice sear before flipping it over. And again, these cook pretty fast. Go ahead and make sure we reach an internal temperature of at least 135. And I'm going to go ahead and let the pork loins rest. They're actually going to continue cooking while we let them rest until it reaches 145. The next thing I'm going to do is work on the glaze. Here I just threw in 1/4 cup of water, half a beef bouillon. You can use a chicken bouillon. And to that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of fig jam, as well as 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. And I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good mix. And we really want the sauce to thicken up, and that should take about a minute or 2. Hopefully your sauce looks something like this. And we're going to go ahead and turn off the heat, add in a tablespoon of butter, some salt, and some pepper, and we're just going to go ahead and give that another mix. And there you go. There's meal number 1, quick and easy pork loin with a fig jam, balsamic glaze, potatoes, and zucchini. Alright guys, so here's everything that's going to go into our quick and easy dinner number 2, and we are making shrimp tacos. Here I just have about 10 shrimps that have been defrosted, deshelled, and deveined. I have this mango sriracha salad kit, and I love that this comes with everything and you can just mix this together and top it on the tacos. It has a mango sriracha dressing, green cabbage, red cabbage, carrots, and sesame seeds. And I honestly pick this up so often because it's so good with tacos, and I like to have it on its own, throw in some avocado or chicken, and this has just been really great. I have some parsley to go with our shrimp, avocado to top our tacos with, and here I just have some corn tortillas, but you can use flour tortillas or hard shell tortillas. And we just have some garlic, lemon, crushed red pepper, paprika, black pepper, salt, some butter, and some olive oil. So let's go ahead and get started and make some tacos. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and season my shrimp, and I'm going to go ahead and season that with some salt and some pepper, as well as some paprika. And paprika really gives it that nice pink color, so I definitely recommend using this. I'm going to throw in some garlic, and I pretty much just eyeball everything. I'm going to go ahead and give that a good squeeze of lemon juice, and we're going to give that a good mix. The next thing I'm going to do is take up a handful of parsley, and I'm just going to go ahead and chop this up, and we're going to throw this into our pan once the shrimp is done cooking. Next, I'm going to just turn on my stove and put that on a medium heat. Drizzle some olive oil, throw in a tablespoon of butter, some crushed red pepper, as well as some garlic. And I actually like to let that sit in the pan for about a minute before throwing in the shrimp. And once that's ready, I'm going to just go ahead and take our shrimp and throw that in. And this is only going to take 3 minutes to cook, so I recommend staying nearby the pan. And I'm just going to give that a good flip. And you really don't want to overcook your shrimp. So after the 3 minutes, we're going to turn off our stove and just throw in the parsley that we chopped up, and we're just going to let that wilt down. The next thing we're going to do is heat up our tortillas. Here I'm just using corn tortilla, but you can use flour tortilla or whichever tortilla you prefer. And to the pan, I'm just going to add some olive oil, and I'm going to cook them for about a minute to 2 on each side. And lastly, we're just going to take our salad mix and throw that into a bowl. I'm only using about half of the salad pack since I'm only making a serving for 2 people. And I'm just throwing in about half of everything that came along with the kit. And I'm just going to go ahead and give that a good mix. The next thing I'm going to do is take our avocado and cut that in half, and I like to cut them into little cube pieces so that we can just scoop them out and throw them on top of our tacos. And lastly, all we have left to do is plate it, and there's your quick and easy shrimp taco dinner ready in about 20 minutes or less. Everything we're gonna need for recipe number 3, and this is going to be a 1-pan crispy chicken thigh recipe with some roasted potatoes, zucchini, and red onion. This is my favorite dinner to make towards the end of the week. I just like to throw in whatever ingredients I have left in the fridge and roast that along with the chicken. I just had some leftover zucchini, a couple of fingerling potatoes left, and about 1/4 of a red onion. Any veggies that you have on hand would be perfect for this recipe. We're just gonna cut everything up and throw it in a pan and bake it for about 45 minutes at 450 degrees. This is my favorite meal to make. It's quick and easy. You can just throw it in the oven and forget about it, and then you have dinner ready. So for the seasonings, I like to go pretty heavy with the chicken thighs. I use sea salt, oregano, red pepper, garlic powder, cayenne. I do like spice in my chicken, but this is totally optional. Black pepper and a little bit of olive oil. And for the chicken thighs, I love that you can get it so crispy with literally the minimum amount of olive oil. I probably add about 1/2 teaspoon and they still come out crispy every time. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pan and just put everything together, and we'll go ahead and pop it in. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 450. And while that's preheating, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a pan and line that up with foil. I like to divide it in the middle between my veggies and my chicken thighs, but that's totally optional. Next, I'm just chopping up my zucchini, but any veggies would go great with this dish. Broccoli would be great, asparagus, mushrooms are also really delicious in this dish. And I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that onto one side of the pan. Next, I'm gonna take my red onion and I'm just gonna go ahead and slice that. And I really love the taste of roasted red onions. I love how they get so sweet and so yummy. Next, I'm just gonna take our potatoes and I'm gonna go ahead and cut that up into nice bite-sized pieces. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw that onto the side with my other veggies. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my chicken and line that up on the other side of the pan. And I'm just gonna go ahead and season both sides with olive oil. And like I mentioned earlier, you only need the slightest amount of olive oil on the chicken thighs and they'll come out super crispy. So I add about 1/2 teaspoon, I would say, to my chicken thighs, and that's for all 4. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and season that pretty heavily with some sea salt and some garlic powder. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some black pepper. You can use any seasonings you have on hand, and I just eyeball everything. Next, I'm just taking some oregano leaves. And I do like a spice on my chicken, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add cayenne pepper just to the chicken side. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and flip my chickens over and season the other side. And once the other side is seasoned, I'm just gonna flip them back over with the skin side up so that we get it nice and crispy. And here I just took a new pair of clean tongs to mix up all the veggies and potatoes. There you go. There's our 1-pan dish, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick this in our oven. And I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook for about 45 minutes. And about halfway through, I like to give the veggies a good mix just to make sure that everything is cooking evenly. And I also like to check the chicken at this point to make sure it's pretty much almost cooked. And then I'm gonna go ahead and broil it after the 45 minutes for another 3 minutes so we get an extra crisp on the chicken thighs. And there you go, there's our quick and easy one pan crispy chicken thigh dinner. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you end up trying any of these recipes out, and if you do, let me know if you like them. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!